Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll analyze a quarter's worth of restaurant order season SQL. This restaurant serves international cuisine and management want insight from their menu and order data. By the end of this video, you will see how SQL is used to answer real business questions exactly like what data analysts do on the job. So let's dive in. So we have received the business question and the query to create the restaurant database. So go to your PG admin, right click on database, click on create database and give it a name, restaurant DB. Then you say save, click on save. Then the next thing you do from here, guys, is to right click on that restaurant DB and open the query tool. Now this is the query tool. The next thing you do from here is to click on what? Open file. You see create restaurant DB. So open this file. This file contains the query to create the restaurant database. So double click on it. So don't tamper with anything here, guys, just execute the script. Now query return successfully. The next thing you need to do is to go and check your data under schemas of the restaurant DB. So look for tables. Now tables, you see it shows that we have what we'll be working with just two main tables, the menu items table as well as the order details table. So now let's start exploring the data. So I'll delete what is there. I'll go to my question. Let me copy the question out. Let me copy the first 5 questions, Ctrl C, paste it here and declare them as comments. To declare a single line comment in SQL, you use what? Double dash. If it's multiple line comments, you use what? Slash and asterisk. Now begin with the first question, create a space. So the first question says view the menu items table. So that's the first thing we need to do. So you do select. To view the menu items table, you begin by saying select. You select, you want to see all column. Let's expand this column to see the columns that we have. How many columns are we looking at? So expand the column here too. So you see we have 4 columns. So the company want us to view the menu items table. To preview the menu items table. So to do that, you need the select statement. And since it's not just a single column you are previewing, you want to preview all, right? So you need to use asterisk. Say asterisk is for all. Select all. From which table are you picking it from? Menu items table. You are picking all the columns in the menu item. So this is how we do it. So easy, guys. So if you run this one now, you see. So we have previewed the menu items table and it shows that we have menu item ID, which is primary key. It uniquely identifies each record. Primary key is our primary key here is the menu item ID, which shows that it's uniquely identify what each record in this table. And we also have the item name, hamburger, cheeseburger, hot dog, and we also have the category of each item, and we have the price. So this is what we have. Now the second question under this number 1 says write a query to find the number of items on the menu. So the company wants us to help them count how many items the restaurant offers. So easy, guys. So you do select again. This time around you want to count, so you have to use the count. Since the menu item is the primary key, that means that it is unique, right? So that means we can count all the record. We can count no duplicate rows. That's what it means. So let's just count all. We don't need distinct count. You do select count all, or you count the menu item ID, or you count all the rows. You still get the same answer. So I'll make use of what? Alias. Select it as what? As total menu items. Total menu items, right? Then from which table are you picking it from, guys? We are picking it from the menu items table. Now let's run this. So you see we have 32 items. We have 32 items. So this shows how large or diverse what the menu is. You can see 32. Now the next question, guys, says what are the least and most expensive item? So how do you know the most and least and most expensive item? So you need to select the name, then item name first. Put the item name. Remember, always picture all the kind of output we are expecting. We're expecting the item name, then in front of the item, let's see the price to know if it is actually the least or what or the most expensive. So after selecting item name, guys, what follows? I need the price column. Now, from which table are we picking it from, guys? We're picking it from the menu items table. Now we need to order by. We need to sort by what? Price. So you sort by price in ascending order, because we want to get the least expensive item first. So if you run this one now, it's going to give you, you can see, so edamame come first, which is $5, is the least. But since they said they need the least, that means the least. So we need to limit 1. We need to do limit 1 to reduce. Limit is used to reduce the number of what? Number of records in your output. So I'll just say limit 1, and if I run it now, it's going to limit it to just what? The list, which is what? Edamame. So now, guys, we want to also do to get the most expensive, right? So let's just work smart. Please permit me to copy this query and edit it, because the query is similar. We just need to, instead of ordering by ascending order, you change it to what? Descending order. Now you run. So you see what we have. So Scampi is the most expensive, right? So the next question here, number 3, says, okay, let me break this number 3 down into 2 so that we can pick them one by one. How many Italian dishes are on the menu? So, the company, they have many categories: Italian dishes, American dishes. So they want to see how many are for Italian. So now, Italian dish on the menu. So we have to count the dishes. We're still going to do select count. So you count all the record, or you count the menu, or you count the menu item ID. This time around, you call it Italian dishes, right? Italian dishes. Now from menu, the table is menu items. Now this time you have to filter. Filter. We use where to filter in SQL. So where the category equals what? Category equals Italian. Category equals Italian. So you see, so by the time I run this one now, I want to get only for the count of Italian. So you see 9 Italian dishes. 9 Italian dishes. The second question says, what are the least and most expensive Italian dishes? So the query will also be like this query. So let me just copy this and edit it. You select the count. You want to count only Italian dishes from menu item where category equals what? Italian, right? So what I just need to add here is to order by, because they want to get the least and most expensive Italian. The least and most expensive Italian. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. If you want to get the least and most expensive Italian, you have to select the item name, then the price from menu item, where category equals to Italian. You only want to see item from what? From Italy. Then you now order by what? You order by price. Let's do for ascending order first. And in SQL, the ASC is optional. That means if I don't put ASC, if I just say order by price, SQL will still make use of what? You still make use of ascending, because by default, if you just say order by price without ASC, SQL will take it as what? Ascending order. So let's just do limit what? Limit 1. So if you run this one now, let's see what we have, guys. So you see, spaghetti is the least Italian word. Italian. If you want to confirm if it's Italian, just add a category here so that it will bring the category out for you as well. So you see, it's Italian. So we are correct. Now they also said the most expensive, right? So let's just edit this. We just need to change it to descending this time around. It's the same thing. So you have to add DSC to what? To order by, to make it descending there. So by the time you run this, so you see Scampi is what? Is the most expensive. Now the number 4 question, guys, We have 2 in 1 question here too. How many dishes are in each category? How many dishes are in what? Each category. So dishes per category. That's what we're asked to do. How many dishes are in each what category? So I have to select category first. Let's see the category name. Okay, comma. Now we now need to count for every category. We are showing. Let's see the count of what? The count of the dishes. So let's call it total dishes. Now the question says, I think it's a 2 in 1 question. Let's see the next one. What is the average dish price within each query? Let's just use this query to answer the 2 questions. So let's just find the average as well. AVG, average of price, this time around as AVG price. Then from the table we are picking it from is the menu items table. Then we have to group by category. So let's run this. So you see what we have in each category. American will have 6, Mexican will have 9, and so you can see that it shows how many dishes exist in each category, and as well as their average price. So the company is trying to identify expensive or budget-friendly categories. That is why we have this analysis. So now let's round up, or let's run down. So let's run down to, we need to run this to maybe like, let's leave it as 2 decimal. We have a lot of decimal here. So you just come here where you have average, you use the round, introduce round. Round is also a function. Open the parentheses, comma, make it 2 decimal, then close it. So now this will help us reduce the number of what? Number of decimal. So you see what we have, guys. Now the next question, which is number 5. So that means we've answered these 2. Let me just put it in front. Okay, perfect. Number 5 question says view the order details table. We're moving to the next table now. We've been using the single menu items table since. So the order details table, we're asked to view the order details table. What is the date range of the table? So the first thing we need to do is to view the order details, right? How do you view the order details, guys? You do select all from order details, right? Select all from order details. So by the time you run this, so it shows that we have order details ID, which is the primary key, order ID, order date, order time, and item ID. Perfect. So now the next thing you do, guys, is the company want to get the time period covered by the data. That's why they ask us the date range for the table. So what we need to do now is to do select minimum order dates. You select minimum order date. You want to get the minimum order date. So you can call this one as let's call it start date. Then you do comma. Then you also want to get the maximum order date. Let's call this one end date. Then from the name of the table is order details. So now let's run this and let's see what we have. So you see, guys, it shows that the start date of this business is 2023 1st January, and it ends 31st March same year, 2023. So now let's go and copy. I think we've answered the first 5 questions. Let's go again and bring another. Let's do 6 to 9 this time around. 6 to 9, and I'll declare them as what? As comment. Now this is 2 in 1. How many orders were made within this date range. So we want us to calculate total order. That's one of the first KPI. How many orders were made within this date range? We want to get the total orders, as well as how many items were ordered within this date range too. So that means you want to get total orders and total items sold during this period. That means the company is trying to, they want to measure demand and sales volume. That's one of the insights you can get from there, guys. So let me drop this one so that you can see everything at a glance, and we'll answer the question. So what we do is we need to sum the orders. We need to count the order first. Count distinct order ID. So you have to do select. But this time around we need to introduce select count distinct. Count, what do you want to count? Distinct order ID. Only the distinct order ID you should count, because it's possible that we have order ID written many times, appearing many times. If it's appearing many times, that means that particular order has many items. We have many items ordered in that order ID. That's why we're having it appearing many times. Do you get? You can place an order for many items. You're gonna get it if you place the order at the same time. You have the same order ID, so it's gonna replicate it twice on their sales. It's gonna replicate it many times on their sales table with respect to the number of items you have. So that's why I'm doing distinct order ID, and I want to give it an alias. I want to give it a total orders. That's the first question. Then I'll do from this time around we have it in we are picking it from the order details. I mean the order ID is from the order details. So let's run this and let's see how many orders were made. So 5,370 orders. Now the next question, how many items were ordered too? So this time around, how do you know the items ordered? It should be by the count. It should be by the quantity sold. So we're gonna use item ID here. How many items? So use item ID here. So select, you count item ID, you count item ID. This time around we call it total items ordered, right? Then from the table we are picking it from still remain the same table, guys, which is what the order, which is the order details, right? So we have to run this and let's see what we have. 12,097 items were ordered. 12,097 were ordered. So now we've calculated so the company can now measure demand and sales volume with this kind of insight. So now that's the insight we can get from there. So now, guys, the next question, I think we've copied them, right? Let's see. Oh, perfect. So the next question says, which order has the most item? Which orders with the most items? So that means just like asking which customer ordered the most items. So that means we need to select order ID. We want to see order ID first. You show the order ID. Then in front of the order ID, put the number of orders. So how do you get number of items? You know, we have to count the item ID, right? Then we call this one total items. Then from which table are we picking it from, guys? Oh, sorry, we need to group by before we we need to complete this first. Sorry. From we're still gonna group by from order details. So it's a group by problem. Just like you are breaking down total items by what? By order. So just like you're using pivot table, group by is like you're doing pivot table in Excel. Pivot table in Excel is like this group by in SQL. So most questions will be answering in SQL. If you know your join very well and your group by, then you're on fire. I like gate functions. So those three are very important for a data analyst. Join, you must know how to do join. Group by is very, very important too, and aggregate functions. So most of the questions you'll be analyzing, you definitely use join, group by, and aggregate functions. They're all very important, guys. So group by, what are we grouping by? We're grouping by the order ID, and we're grouping. So the mode of grouping is that we want to count item ID. We're counting item ID by what? Counting number of items by the order. So for that means for each order, let us see the number of what? Item ordered. So I think that's clear, right? So we can now sort too. We can sort. Let's sort by total items. Let's sort in descending order, because they said which order are the most what? Are the most item. So by the time we sort in descending order, the one with the highest will come first. So you see order 4305, there are many of them, not even one. You see like 14 order, like 7 of them. So that's the question, guys. And so we have shown the what orders with the most number of what items. The company now said how many orders have had more than 12 items. So what we just need to do is to filter this one. Filter is to display record that meet your criteria, right? So what we just need to do is to filter. To filter. There are 2 ways of doing this anyway. You can also use if you know subquery. Subquery is a query inside another query, but I want to make it simple for you guys, so I won't be using subquery, but I can also write a subquery for those that know how to use subquery. But let's do this one first. So it's gonna be select order ID. So this time around, you just have to, after grouping by, what we need to do here is to use your where, or use having, because group by is there. So use having count of item ID greater than what? I think 12, right? Greater than 12. Oh, sorry, I think let me remove this question 7 from there. It shouldn't be here, so that we know that we're answering question 8. So you see, so you say having count of item ID greater than what? 12. So this is what we're asked to do. So you can see that these are the orders that have more than what? 12 items. So this is very, very simple. We can also use subquery, like I said. Let's type subquery for those of you that know how to use subquery. So it's gonna be select. I'll count all item, but this time I want to call it orders above let's say 12 items. And the next thing will be from now. This way I will now introduce subquery. The query inside another query. I'll now write another select or select order ID now, and the count of what, or count the item ID. You can call this one total items if you wish. Then from picking it from the order details, then I have to, I think, group by the order ID. That's the end of the subquery, and I can call this one subquery. Then I have to filter where the total items greater than what? 12. So you see, guys, because the question says, so you see, the question says how many orders add more than what? 12 items. So if you run this one now, we have 20. You see, but it's giving us the details. Because you use subquery, you won't be able to get the details. So that's just the disadvantage. But it's giving us the count, right? Perfect. So you choose anyone that you prefer. So now the next question says, guys, says combine the menu items and order details table into a single table. They want to test your join skills here. This is join problem. Menu items and what? Order. So when you join table together, you get more insight, guys. So what I'll do is very simple. Now we just have to do select all the columns, select all the columns from where? from the menu items first. From the menu items, then what should we do? Then you do join. But these menu items, I want to give it M. I want to give it an alias M. Then you now say join. Join other details. So join other details. Other details O. You now say on. You can't use using here. Why? Because what they have in common. What they have in common here is supposed to be menu item ID and item ID is what they have in common. But the name of the columns are not the same. So you can't say using item ID, you get error. If you also say using menu item ID, you get error. But they have the same content. So that's why you must learn how to use this on predicate. So you now say on m dot menu item ID. Join it on menu item ID equals O, which is the other details, dot item ID. This is what we have to do, guys. So it's very easy. So then you run it. You see, we successfully join the two tables together. Now we can get more insight. Joining tables allow you to analyze both what was ordered and how much what it costs based on the price. We have the price because we don't have the price there, so we'll be able to get much insight. But now, since we joined the two tables together, we're on fire. We can get as much insight as what we want. So let's see from here the questions the company asks us again. So we have a few questions left. Let's copy the remaining. We have just 4 questions left. And I'll paste it here. Okay, perfect. The first question says, what were the least and most ordered items? What categories were they in? Lists and most ordered item. How do you present the list and most ordered item? So that means we need to select item name first. The item name column must come first. They also say which category are they in. Then we also select the category. The table should contain the item name first, the category, followed by the total quantity ordered for all of them, right? So let's do it, guys. Select. So you can see that understanding the problem is very, very important in data analysis. That is why it's the first stage. With that, you can now from there you can now decide on how to solve the problem. If you understand the problem, you now think of, oh, I'm using SQL, right? How can I solve it in SQL? So now select item name. So let's also demonstrate our alias here. So I want to okay, let's reference the table. So let me call it m.item name. It shows that I'm picking this item name from what? From the menu items. Don't worry, you understand it better. Now I'll say comma the order details table. I want to call it OD. So I also want to pick the category, right? Category is also from where? Also from menu items. I'll say m dot what? Category. What I'm doing now is I'm fully qualifying my column. If I don't put it to, I don't think there will be any issue. But let me just tell you guys that you can have some people writing query like this. That shows that they are fully qualifying the column. They are telling SQL where they are picking what we are picking the columns from. So M here, I'm giving it is the alias for menu items, which I'm going to declare when I get to my from table from this thing. So now the next thing you do is to count the number of votes, the number of item ID, and this item ID I'm picking it from where? Picking it from the other details. So I have to do O dot item ID. Let's call this one as total quantity, right? Yes, total quantity or total items. Total items. Right, total items order. Now the next thing you do now from menu items, let's give it M, join order details, call it O, right? Now on what they have in common, which is m dot menu item menu item ID equals o dot item ID, right? Now we need to do group by, because we want to group. And what do we want to group? We want to group the way of grouping is, I think the way of grouping here is count. Group the total number of items by what? By item name as well as by category. That's what we want to do. So we have to put group by m dot, the two of them must appear, m dot item name comma o, okay, m dot category, both of them are in the group, so m dot category. Now we can now do order by total items, descending order. Guys, this is a query. Let's run this and let's see what we have. So you see, hamburger is the most ordered, and the least ordered here is chicken tacos, 123 times. So this helps us identify best and worst performing menu items. So you can see the hamburger is the best performing, and the worst performing here is what? Is the chicken tacos, which 123 ordered. Now guys, we've answered the question. Now we'll move to the next question, which is, so we have 11 twice. No, it should be 11, 12, and this should be 13, guys. So what were the top 5 that spend the most money? So we have to top 5 that spend the most money, right? Top 5 orders. So that means we need to the order in the table. In the result, we should have the order ID first. Then in front of each order, we should see what's the price. I think that's what we're gonna do, right? Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do now is very simple. I'll just say select order ID, and the order ID will be from the order details, right? So we have to, let's just do o dot, because we need to join two tables together now. O dot, because the price is here, and we need the what? We need the price. So the price is here in the menu items, and they will have the order ID in the order details. So that's what will make us join. So you need to know when to join and when not to join. So you have to do, so you need to join tables together when you see that, okay, oh, the inside I'm about to get, I need the columns that we're using getting those inside, I have them in different tables. Like in our own case now, we want to see orders with the most that spend the most money, right? Perfect. How do you know orders that spend the most money? Is it now by presenting the order or the order ID, and in front of each order you want to have what? Total amount spent, price, right? So for that reason, we'll be using the price and the order ID. So let's present the order ID first. So that's a o dot what? Order ID, right? Then comma and the price. So you need to sum the price. Price. So you sum what? The price for each order. Now the next thing you need to do from there is so we sum the price, right? Let's call it as total spent. I think that would be good. Then from order details O, this price, let's give it M2, M dot order details O join menu items M, right? On what they have in common. Remember, we can't use in here. O dot order details. What am I even typing? This is wrong. Not O dot order details. So that's not what they have in common. They have item ID. O dot item ID equals M dot menu item ID, right? That's menu item ID. Now guys, we need to do group by. We group by the order ID. Group by O dot order ID. Then you do order by the total spent, descending order, right? Since they said they need the top 5, let's just do limit 5. So you see, these are the top 5. If you don't want to use limit 5, you can also use fetch. Most of it that will be using other database system. You can also use fetch. You can just say fetch first 5 rows only. So we get the same thing as the limits. Or you can do fetch next too, works. So next and fetch, we use them interchangeably. Fetch next 5 rows only. So you see what we have, guys. So these are the restaurant's highest value order. Now let's see what we have in the next question. Oh, view the details of the highest spend order. This highest spend order, this, guys, we need to view the details of the highest. You know, the highest here is 440. Which specific item were purchased? Which specific item were purchased? So we need details. What I'll just do from here now, guys, is that let's edit this one. I'll just add more details to what I'm showing here. You know, I'm showing only the order ID and the price and blah blah blah. So I have to add many other things: category, the item name itself, what the order, and so that is what I'll just add. So let's start by let me edit this and put item name here. Immediately after the order ID, let's see the item name, because they said they want to see specific item that are ordered. So that's why I'm putting item name, as well as the item name should be m.item name. Then I'll do comma. What other information should we put? Okay, I think we should put category too, right? Let's put category. Say m.category comma. I think it's okay this way. And they said only details of the highest spend order. So instead of, you can just say fetch first 1 row only. If you want to use fetch, something is wrong. m.item name. It's complaining of m.item name, item underscore name. As total spent from. Oh, since we have that now, the item name must be in the group by too. The item name must be in the group by, but I don't think we need all this. We don't need this much query. Then let's just go straight to the point. So we have to do select. You do select. Let's just do select all from menu items. Select all from menu items. Join. Join other details on what they have in common. So let's call menu items M, and let's call other details O on O dot, let's say M dot item name, M dot item menu item ID. Sorry, that's what they have in common. Menu item ID equals O dot item ID. That's what they have in common. Then now say where O dot order ID. Let's get the 440. 440 is the order ID with the ISP. So we just say where order ID equals what? 440. This one is straightforward. But there are other ways we can write this query anyway. So these are the details of the high spend order. You can see it's only giving us that of 440. So these are the details. You can see the dates, you can see the order time, you can see the category, you can see the item name. So this one is very, very straightforward. But however, we can also use what? Subquery to also answer this. We can also use subquery, but in that case we'll be having much query to write. So should we also explore the subquery? For those of you that will need the subquery, Let's do it. So you choose either of the two that you want. So I'll start by selecting the order ID. Let me just call it o dot order ID, comma. I also want to select the item name. Those are the details, right? So m dot item name, and the category, because they said they need the specific item that were purchased. So that's the first query will be to write the specific item that I purchased. That's what I'm trying to do now. M dot let's also get the category, right? Category, as well as price, m dot price. Then from which table is this coming from? We need to join. It's not only one table, so let's just do from menu items m, join order details o. Now we've joined the two of them together, right? On what they have in common, remember that is very, very important. On m dot menu item id equals o dot item id, right? O dot item id. So we've joined the two together. You now say where. So instead of saying where order ID equals 440 now, right? I'll now use subquery. Query inside another what query. So this one is advanced SQL. So I'll now use what? Instead of just saying where order item ID, where order ID equals 440 that I did there, I'll just say where the order ID, where the o dot order ID, let's reference where we're picking it from. Now you now say equals, you now write a query that will help you get that 440, open parenthesis to begin subquery. You now say select. We now begin to write the query now. Select order ID from order details. Let me call it order details o anyway. Join menu items m on what they have in common. M dot menu item id equals o dot item id, then group by yes, I selected order ID, right? So we say group by order ID. Now we can do order by sum of price. Let's sum the price. Then descending order, limit 1. So this is subquery. So you can see we have this, and these are the details we want. Item name, category. You can add more to the first query, the outer query. So the inner query is what is called subquery. So this shows exactly what the highest paying order, in other words, highest paying customer what ordered. I think we are good, right? So let's see what we have, and then I think we have one more question to go, guys. View the details of the top 5 highest paying order. It's still the same thing we've done here. It's still the same thing. If I want to use that subquery, I'll just call this one, I'll just say limit 5. I'll still use the 2 method for you guys, don't worry. So for those of you that are here to master subquery, so I'll be beginning SQL class from from beginners till advanced method. So if you want me to start SQL class, I mean not just projects, so you need to understand, for you to be working with projects, you need to understand the basics, the intermediate, and the advanced SQL. If you want me to start, please just comment, leave your comments in the comment section. You can just comment start SQL from beginning to advanced. Do you get? Then I'll start it. So, but I need your what? I need your response, guys. So now I'll copy this like I said, and I'll paste it here. Oh, sorry, I didn't copy it. So you see, so instead of limit 1, because they said this question said details of what? Details of the top 5 highest spend order. So I'll just do limit 5 because I only got for the top one earlier. So I'll just say limit 5 instead. So this should give us details of the top 5, not just top 1 again. So it's always best to work smart. More than 1 row returned by subquery as an expression. Oh, let's go and edit something. I think something is wrong somewhere. Order by order ID. So let me check the query. Order ID, menu item name, okay, price. Then from other details, where order ID, order ID equals from other details on group by order ID, some limit 5. I don't know why I did. Okay. This one is order by limit price, limit 5. More than 1 row return. More than 1 row return by subquery use as an expression. So don't worry if it's not working, we just use the normal method, but it should work. Okay, let me quickly run the normal method. So we'll correct what this is wrong. So it should be where order ID, you know, you're not just getting 1, so it should be in instead. Oh, sorry, you should use in will help us pack more. So this will give us all. I think we have it now. So these are the details of the top 5. All these ones you see here, they are the top 5. So you see they're the top 5. So if I want to use this method now, if I want to use this method for you guys, some people will prefer this. So I'll first of all run this query, the one that give me the top 5 orders. You see, I'll now copy the top 5 orders here. Let me use this method to get the top 5. So you can use anyone, it's your choice. So instead of saying where order ID in for just one, I'll just say where order ID, and then I'll put all these orders, I'll copy them, select all, then I'll put them here. Oh, sorry, there's a mistake somewhere. I need to select, just copy from there. So I think it should work from there. So just separate them by what? By comma. These are the top 5 order, but you need the details, right? So we want to get the details now. So these are the details of the top 5 orders. So if you don't want to use sub query, something is wrong. What is wrong again? There shouldn't be a comma in the last one. So you need to cross check your query before running, otherwise you get error. So these are details of the top 5 what? Top 5 spending order. So in this video, guys, we use SQL to explore menu performance, customer behavior, as can see, and revenue insight. This is a perfect beginner to intermediate SQL portfolio project. If you find this video helpful, guys, like the video, subscribe, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.